It's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, which means it is Sports Talk with Boogie and Lou, sponsored by, not with
Jesus Christ.
but with Steele and Chet, sponsored by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your automotive stuff done at 106th Street Tire and Wheel. If you are a New York Giants fan, give me a hell yeah!
Oh, hell
yeah! Joe Judge officially cut from the New York Giants after all the rumors and all the talk about how Joe Judge was staying and how Gettleman was the only one going, and how I said last week that we need to keep Joe Judge because it would be stupid to have Daniel Jones have 3 head coaches in 4 years. The Giants said, Lou, you're a mush, fuck you. And now we have a new head coach, going to have a new GM, and New York Giants fans should be excited about that.
That's the best thing Bush has done all year.
So let me ask you.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
What would be the odds of 2 people getting fired in one day?
Oh, man. I
That's happened in Chicago.
What's the idea?
That's happened in Chicago.
Chance 2 people getting fired in one day? You got Joe Judge getting fired and Lou getting fired after that horrendous introduction to the show today.
That was
2 firings in one day.
He was stumbling and bumbling all through that.
I wanted to change it up.
But how are you drunk before you drink?
Because you want to know why I'm drunk before I drank? Because the Giants did the first thing they did all season the right way. They got rid of Joe Judge. Because if any of you guys remember, I have never been more embarrassed to be a Giants fan after Sunday's game. Regardless, I knew that the outcome was that they were going to lose. Regardless that I knew that they weren't making the playoffs. And regardless of watching a quarterback who's never thrown a touchdown have his 4th career start already with us and still play. And then on top of that, Boogie, will you mind showing the video which put the icing on the cake?
This is the play that got Joe Judge fired.
7. And Jacksonville with a 10-3 advantage on the Colts. Steelers.
No, wait, pause it real quick. Please.
We're on our 4-yard line.
Right,
we are 3rd and 9. Now, just a little context here. The kick did keep us there, pinned into the end zone. But on 2nd down, we already did a quarterback sneak. Mm-hmm. So now Joe Judge decided, you know what? Because they asked him about this after this play here. But they asked him, why did you do this? So I'm going to play this. I'm going to show this play. And then we're going to talk about his excuse of why he did this.
A couple of scores will all be updated at the half. Interesting formation.
I mean, really, you're at the 4-yard line, and you don't feel comfortable enough in your offense to be able to run a traditional play. I mean, I get the first one when you put yourself kind of backed up inside the 1-yard line.
I mean, this is sad.
I mean, that is just a complete lack of confidence in faith of your offense to be able to execute coming off your end.
Hold on.
That's the best.
Hold on.
Hi, Lonnie.
Did you hear the announcer?
Yes.
What kind of formation is this?
You know what the funny thing is? You want to know what the funny thing is about this whole thing? Is that broadcasters are not supposed to be biased toward what they're talking about, right?
Why?
No.
Because they're supposed to be neutral during each way. Because you have people listening. You have people listening all throughout the country.
He
literally said, "What the fuck is this?" without saying, "What the fuck is this?"
Bill, we're going to completely wipe Joe Judge out of the existence of Giant history after that play.
Can we go down the chain of events on how this man got himself fired?
Okay, so let's go through it. Okay, let's go through it. Last year, I'll give Joe Judge the benefit of the doubt. Joe Judge took a very new, young team to almost a playoff run, right? We went 7-9. We almost had a playoff run, okay? This year, the expectation wasn't to not just make the playoffs. The expectation was to win the division because we just signed Galladay. We were getting back Blake Martinez. We had a decent we were getting back Saquon Barkley. And then what happens? We went 0-4, and then we wound up only winning 4 games for the entire year. And I can't even blame that on injuries because the play call has been absolutely horrendous. And we want to blame Garrett. We want to blame the offensive coordinator, Garrett. Meanwhile, dumber shit was happening with Garrett not here.
Worse.
And I hate to
But
say
it
it,
was worse.
and I hate to say it, the Jets looked like a better team than the Giants the last 4 weeks.
Wait, hold on. Let's not drag the Jets in this foolery right here. Okay,
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why.
Joe.
No idea.
I'm yelling because I'm passionate and I'm angry.
Joe Judge started to sabotage himself because he just didn't want to be a coach anymore. No one can be that idiotic. No one can get in front of a camera and give a 11-minute whatever that was to turn around.
Excuse.
To turn around to talk about preparation, to talk about other franchises, to talk about other coaching staffs and other teams, to have his team come out there and get whopped by the team he was talking about.
Yo, the man
is terrible, bro.
The man said, no, it was a justifiable play. We was just trying to make some room so that we don't repeat what we did against Chicago. So we just wanted to make some room so that, we'll have room to kick this time. So
I didn't think looking worse.
You blew two plays
to get 2 inches.
Room.
Pause.
You have.
I paused for him there.
Well,
I paused for him.
Like I said, the first time, like the announcers say, yes, I can see doing that on the first play. You're in the 1 yard line. Fine, no big deal. Second play, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, come on.
Let me tell you. He has one of the better running backs in Saquon Barkley.
Does he?
You telling me? But hold on. You telling me that man can't get 2 yards, a yard on a carry, on
the way that offensive line was.
Have you seen our offensive line this year?
So you're telling me the quarterback sneak?
That's what I'm saying. The quarterback sneak is going to make the offensive line better.
Exactly. That's
worse.
It's horrible.
He was never OC. He never did any type of play calling whatsoever.
He was a special team coach.
He was over.
That's what he was.
And the special teams wasn't even that good.
That good, yeah. It hasn't been good in 2 years.
Well, you want to know why they were? You want to know why? Because he came from Bill Belichick.
No. It's not even why.
No.
He went to the Adam Gase School of Interviewing.
But
he told those guys what they wanted to hear in the interview.
Who am I?
Adam Gase.
Who was good underneath the tree of Bill Belichick? Who was good?
Nobody.
So,
nobody.
I mean,
it has nothing to do with Belichick. He had the gift of gab. He made the ownership believe that he really had the skill and the go to whatever it is to make this team a better team. And it was an epic fail.
I have to agree with you, Bill. I gotta agree with you.
Only problem the Giants have now, and the Jets have the same problem. Right now, the Giants are going to be probably playing 3 head coaches.
Yeah.
That's still on the payroll. A possible 4 because they had to hire somebody now.
No, but you know what? They won't hire anybody right now. They won't hire anybody right now because they don't need to hire anybody right now.
I know, but it's going to be a possible 4 head coaches on their payroll.
Well, once we get Flores and as our coach, and then once we get Russell Wilson as our quarterback, things are going to turn around, right?
So here's the thing. There's 2 things that I think we need to see ups and downs about Giants right now. The good thing is that Joe Judge is gone, and now we have a new GM. We're going to have a new GM.
Hold on. Before you get to that, Paul Rodriguez
is out of his mind.
First off, if he's been watching the show,
you would see that we've had one already.
That we already had a Cowboys fan on the show for multiple weeks. And we've mentioned your name.
We have.
So thank you for the support of not watching.
Yes, you better watch every week now, bitch.
So
the vulgarity today.
And if we look at the teams that they're playing next year, their schedule is not that bad. You're playing Jacksonville, you're playing Chicago, you're playing Detroit, you're playing Houston. Okay, so you're playing like a lot of last place teams next year.
Jacksonville is going to be a better team next year. Okay.
The Giants should be better though.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be bad. Okay?
Yo, Chet, do you have Cheez-Its on your shirt right now, Chet? Are those Cheez-Its?
Jesus.
What do? What unprofessional shit is this? Anyways, listen. There's 2 things about the Giants that I think that we have that is a pros and cons.
Joe Judge wouldn't even have Cheez-Its on his shirt.
No, he might have.
And he's pretty bad.
Here's the thing. The first thing is that the good news today is that the Miami Dolphins fired Brian Flores. Okay, that's the good news. Yeah. Well, I don't know why they did it.
I'll forgive you, Paul. That's the good news.
The bad news is that the Giants probably won't hire this guy. As much as I would love to have Brian Flores come to this team. Brian Flores has taken a very underdeveloped Miami Dolphins team and made them into playoff contenders last year and almost this year too.
Yep.
And in my opinion, Tua is not that good of a quarterback. So to make them into an 8-9 team and almost make the playoffs, that's an awesome thing for them to do.
That was a stab to Steele, I think.
It was. It was a nice stab to him.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate Sal.
I think Brian, you suck, Sal. I think Raiders. Listen, honestly, if you're the Raiders, I think you keep your interim head coach right now. He's doing absolutely great with them as the head coach.
Yeah,
he's killing it for them. He's killing it for them. He single-handedly got them to the playoffs. He single-handedly
that team was destined for disaster, and they are in the playoffs.
What I just heard a few minutes ago before I got on, the first coach of the Giants are going to be talking to is Jim Harbaugh. Okay.
He is going to
I'm going
Miami.
to Siberia.
I think he's going to Miami.
I don't care.
I think he's going to Miami.
You get him as a coach, I'll burn my Giant stuff. Okay.
You gotta do it on camera.
Horrible coach.
Yo, shout out to Steele's girl for throwing her clothes in front of him and distracting him during the show. Get naked in front of him. Look at her. He was so unfocused. She just threw some drawers on him. He didn't know what to do. Look at that vein come out of his forehead.
He's turning red all of a sudden. Hey,
He said, "Forget the Giants." Hey, what are you doing today?
All right, so let me ask you guys a question now. Now that Joe Judge is gone, there's no more distractions for the Giants. I want your opinion on. Give me a grade level as far as the Giants season this year.
F.
What? F's all around?
Yeah, you.
No.
Z
I'm
X.
I would have gave them an F, but today they redeemed themselves.
Well, that's
D-.
why they're not F. But that's why they're not F minus. You know what I'm saying?
They're D minus now. They're D minus.
G minus.
The only reason why I'm going to give the Giants a D plus is because I actually like the way when Daniel Jones wasn't hurt, Daniel Jones single-handedly carried us to a few wins this year. And that's the reason why I'm going to be honest with you guys. If we don't get rid of Daniel Jones, I'll be okay with that. I like Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is a good football player.
I want Russell Wilson here next year. That's why.
And that's the other thing. That's the other rumor is that Russell Wilson might get traded to the Giants. But as a Giants organization, how much are you willing to give up for Russell Wilson?
It's time to
Daniel
reset.
Jones and one of the first rounders.
Lou, it's time to reset, bro. Like, we already at rock bottom right now. All right. So at this point, we gave Daniel Jones 3-4 years. I mean, let's just try to get an actual professional quarterback. Let's try to get an offensive line, and let's try to get a coach who didn't just start coaching yesterday. Let's try doing that. You know what I mean? Let's
Russell Wilson.
You know,
but
here's the thing: you want to build a franchise. Russell Wilson's not a young quarterback anymore. He can't even run.
Let's try to win. We have offensive.
Exactly.
Pieces. Let's try to win. I mean, how often are we going to try to build a franchise? I mean, let's be real. Look at all the teams that building franchises. They're going nowhere. But then you got Tampa who said, "Hey, let's get Tom Brady and build a championship."
But Tom Brady is the exception. It's not the criteria for how you should do.
I can't really say Tom is the exception. I mean, just look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has definitely turned around that franchise. You know what I'm saying? It's not Super Bowl worthy, obviously, but you can turn around a franchise with a simple.
Look at the Chargers.
Quarterback.
Look at the Chargers in 2 years with Justin Herbert in 2 years.
Listen, this is Cincinnati. I mean, we go on and on.
Right, but this is where I'm going to. It's all people that you're drafting and building up with the franchise.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
look
people trading for quarterbacks.
Look how many years it took for those quarterbacks to develop. Not a long time. Daniel Jones is taking forever, bro. Like at some point, you have to cut bait. At some point, if he, how long are you going to say he has potential? How long are you going to say that?
3 years.
Until his 7th year. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like how long?
But listen, are we looking at the same Russell? That's the next question.
And that's where I'm getting at. The Russell that won the Super Bowl in 2014 is not the same Russell Wilson that's playing
now. Russell now is better than Daniel Jones now.
Right, and Russell Wilson will have.
Are we trying to improve?
If Barkley comes back and you got Wilson, Now you got a healthy running game where you do not have to worry about Russell
guess
Wilson
what?
throwing the ball all the time.
And guess what? When Russell Wilson gets pressured, guess what he's not going to do? Throw across his body and throw an interception.
Right. He's gonna take it down the field and get positive yards.
I got a question. And you know, Lou, I am a Daniel Jones fan. But if you look at the quarterbacks across the league right now, who is Jones better than?
He's better than Jake Fromm.
Mike Lennon.
Listen,
Mike McGlennon, he's better than
Mr. Boogie. I put this question to Lou because I want to hear what Lou says. Because obviously he's not saying that Russell is a good fit, and I understand both y'all logic. But however, who is Daniel Jones actually better than?
He's better than Tua.
Better than Zach Wilson.
Better than Zach. He's better than any rookie besides Mac Jones.
Can I? Yeah, I want to talk to you about the Tua situation. He physically has better football attributes. I want to say, but
you are better than Fromm.
But
you're better than Glennon.
But he's managing the game way better than Daniel Jones because even though he can't throw down the field, I mean, he's not throwing interceptions. They know that he's going to throw it short, and he's still making passes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they did win 7 games in a row.
That's what I'm saying. They almost made the playoffs, bro. So for you to just easily dismiss Daniel Jones better than Tua, I
don't think so.
I don't know, Lou. Like, when has Daniel Jones managed the Giants like that?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, physically, he can run the ball. He's more athletic. Yeah,
he had better coaching.
Better coaching.
Brian Flores,
But Tua was managing a team that was winning.
Listen, out of 10 games that I just looked up the stats, out of 10 games that Daniel Jones played this year, 6 of them he had over 100 QB rating.
Yo,
it's not bad.
Beastbrook said he's better than Fromm.
He is better than Fromm. He is better than Fromm. Now, here's the thing. Daniel Jones needs to throw more touchdowns. Agreed. He went 10 for 7 this year. But all I'm saying is that Daniel Jones still, like I just said, had over 100 passer rating for 6 out of the 10 games.
Listen, to play devil's advocate, Daniel Jones did not have a coaching staff that was able to give him the success that he needed. I'm putting this year on the Giants coaching staff. They did not give that man the play calling, the pieces to succeed.
So again, how long are you going to keep giving the man an excuse?
I personally say, if you can get Russell, and I'm this outside guy looking in, if you can get Russell, obviously you'll be a fool not to get him. But I wouldn't throw Daniel Jones away for a bag of peanuts like I would throw Wilson away for a bag of peanuts.
Yeah, I wouldn't give away Daniel Jones or let him walk. I think he's still worth something. And I honestly think if he went to Seattle, he would play great for Pete Carroll because that's what happens when you play for New York. You play for New York, you get traded or you sign somewhere else, and you're a stud. That's exactly what happens. It always happens that way. And I think Daniel Jones has a lot of potential. I think he has a lot more potential.
You forget about the guy in Carolina this year, Mr. Darnold. He played New York.
So let me ask you a question.
He had a good first 3 games and then melted.
What about Aaron Rodgers? Like, is he a free agent next year? Because I know it keeps on being brought up about him leaving or staying and blah blah blah.
He is technically a free agent, and
the
rumor is that he wants to play in Denver.
Yep.
That is the rumor.
That guy
is
toying. He is toying with the media. He
wants to see who's going to coach Denver first next year.
I agree with that. And you know what? As much as I like Devontae Adams, having Aaron Rodgers with Judy, with Sutton,
Patrick,
with Fant.
Yeah, oof. That's a good lineup.
Having Melvin Gordon Jr. and what's the other running back? They have a good offense.
Yeah,
they have a good offense. Teddy Bridgewater went for more passing touchdowns than interceptions.
First of all, let's not talk about Teddy Bridgewater like he's not a good player. Teddy Bridgewater was
Daniel Jones is better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep. Take him, get him out of here. He is.
Daniel Jones is better than Teddy.
He is not. No, he's not. Come on, bro. No, he is not better than Teddy Bridgewater. And what? A sidebar. Where's Joe at with them Colts?
Oh.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Joe in a while.
Joe, he's hiding under a rock right now.
So
How
I
bad
don't.
was that with the
I mean,
stuff?
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Are you shocked? I know it was against the Jaguars, but are you shocked that Carson
Wentz.
Wentz is failing again? Are you
No,
shocked? I mean, that's his MO.
that's
You
what
know,
he does.
Daniel Jones might be better than him.
You know what?
Hey,
I would
Carson
take
Wentz is
that
a
one.
Super Bowl champion. Remember that.
No,
They
he's not.
stopped Taylor. That's why they won the game.
Hey,
They
so
stopped
was
Taylor.
Jared Lorenzo. Remember Jared Lorenzo, the backup
Jared
quarterback
Lorenzen.
to
Number 13.
Eli?
With about
You know what?
300
You know, look,
touchdowns.
since we talk about
he was a Super Bowl quarterback
From
too.
the University
Hey,
of
look.
Kentucky.
since we talking about chip, and Eddie Curry got a chip with the Miami Heat. So what? Okay, let's just keep it real.
He does.
Okay.
No, listen. That was you know what sucks about that whole situation with the Colts and the Jaguars is that them not making the playoffs probably cost Jonathan Taylor an MVP vote.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not even on him. He carried that team.
He did.
Yeah.
When the running back carries the
held him
team,
in check. Though.
that's crazy.
And look what happened. They went away from that man. Didn't give him his carries. And
I don't know if they didn't give him.
They tried to.
They were
Still,
stacking,
they tried to. Jackson was all over him.
Yeah, they
Jackson
stacked
was
the
all over.
box.
They were going 3 and out all game. I was watching most of that game.
This is something that team should have
They were
been
going
doing.
3 and out.
They should have been doing this. They just stacked the box on him, and now he had nowhere to go.
Exactly.
And they said, you know what, Wentz, you defeat us, and he couldn't.
Yeah, and he couldn't.
because he is what we call garbage.
But their defense didn't show up either, Indy, too. I mean, you know.
No, you can't. Listen, the Jacksonville Jaguars averaged 16 points a game this year, and they scored 26 on a pretty decent defense. That's. But you know what that was? That wasn't even necessarily the defense's fault. That was the offense going 4 and out 7 times the other day.
You mean 3 and out?
3 and out, 7 times the other day.
Yeah, pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Was it 5 downs?
The
Could be 6 or 7 downs. I'm not sure.
It is statistically proven
Maybe that's why
that when the defense is on the field more, that they are going to allow more points to score, no matter how good the defense is, because the defense gets more tired than offense does when you are playing football.
Listen.
So,
hey,
that was Carson Wentz.
Hey,
exactly.
Boog.
Yep.
I thought that was Ben Roethlisberger for his neck.
Lose all over the place. Chet is having lunch. What's going on today? What is happening during the show today?
At least Chet shares his lunch with his shirt. You know what I'm saying? So big up to him. You know what I mean?
What is happening today on this show?
All right, so let's go to the Jets real quick now. So, Steele, as the only Jets fan here, how do you give your Jets a rating? Can everybody who's watching right now, what is the Jets overall rating for the year? Tell me, Steele. If you had to give your Jets a rating, you knew the expectations. You knew what was going down. What is your letter grade?
I give them a C minus.
Yeah, they're better than the Giants.
And you know why I give them a C minus? They was expected to win about 5 games this year, right?
Right.
Vegas had them winning like 5 games.
5, 6.
Vegas was very generous,
and they were generous. Okay.
Yep.
The only negative, and you know I'm super negative on a quarterback. I think he's not the one. I know a lot of people think he is. We had Elijah. We had some offensive line growth. We had some defensive line growth. So, I mean, the team is going as expected. And our head coach has a pretty good head on pause. Pretty good on his shoulders. So,
football mind, IQ.
Yeah,
There's so many things you can say, but that's where you got to go every time.
Sorry. But like I said, I give them a solid C minus with the intentions of them at least winning 9 games next year.
9 games.
I need them to win 9 games next year.
They're winning 9 next year.
Wow.
I need them to win 9 games.
Not winning 9 games
Luke,
next
can you
year.
record this clip of him saying that?
I'll
Listen,
bet that.
I can't forget that.
Games?
Listen,
I can't forget that.
9 games.
Hold on. I didn't say they were going to win. I said
They haven't won 9 games in 3 years.
I said
combined.
I expect them to. That doesn't mean they're going to.
You expected them? That's
I
crazy.
expect them to.
I'm
not saying they're going. I'm not saying I guarantee the Jets are going to win 9 games. I'm not saying that. I expect.
Not with the teams they're playing next year. They ain't winning 9.
Listen, this is the National Football League.
You got to play the NFC Central next year.
This is the National Football League. No one knows
Listen,
what's going to happen.
The Dolphins
That's
are
Seattle.
outperforming you guys, so you need to get it
Listen,
together.
I listen. You can only go up when you're the Jets. Okay, you can't go any lower.
I don't
You're
know
not
about
winning
that.
5. You're lucky you win 5 games again next year with the teams they have.
Let's
to play.
slow down, Giant fans, because y'all was supposed
It's
to make
ridiculous.
the playoffs. So just slow down a little bit, okay?
Yeah, you
So
guys.
with the
are
Seahawks.
You asked for my opinion. I
Yeah.
gave my opinion. That's
Yeah,
it.
I
and
agree.
I'm giving,
I think
and I'm
it's
giving
C-.
you facts of who they have to play
I
next
think
year.
it's C- too. Also, I'm gonna go with C- as well.
Zach Wilson didn't perform as well as I thought he would. I will say that. I thought he performed better. He didn't.
Okay, my question to you.
He has a
You never-
failing grade.
My
He
question
definitely
to
has a failing
My
grade.
question to you, Lou, is what made you believe? What did you see from him to make you say this guy's going to have a good season?
Nothing. What I thought he would have a better year than what he had is what I'm saying. I expected him to do better. I expected him to honestly be a 25 touchdown, 20 interception quarterback. Not whatever his stats were. His stats were way worse than that.
I'm gonna give you a couple of fun facts, right?
Let me hear
I'm
these
gonna
fun
give you
facts.
one good fun fact. When Daniel Jones first got on the Giants, right, and he got on the field, everybody was like, "Who is this kid?" And he played pretty decent. He gave you something visually to say some possibilities here. He has something you can say, "Hey, okay, this kid could possibly do something." Mr. Wilson gave you nothing. He hasn't done.
Antonio Brown gave more in MetLife. Antonio Brown gave more in MetLife Stadium this year than both quarterbacks did.
But I tell you, you got to warn me before you do stuff like that.
No.
Like I said, Zach Wilson gave the Jets absolutely no glow, bro.
Yeah, but can I tell you something? Steele, do you know off the top of your head what Zach Wilson's quarterback rating was for the year?
I would say negative 166,000. But what you tell me?
Like the 80s.
It was 28.5. His quarterback, not his quarterback, his quarterback rating amongst all the other quarterbacks. He was 29th, rounded up to the worst out of 32 teams. He was the 29th quarterback. He went 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's horrible.
I like to see the other 3 worse than that.
I was just saying, I'm trying to figure like you telling me that I know he's horrible. So my question to you is how are you saying he has
But his quarterback rating for the year was a 69.7, which is still really bad.
Yeah.
But I expected him to be better. You had a healthy Corey Davis in the beginning. You had Crowder toward the end. You had a very good Barros.
Elijah Moore,
who was very good. You had Michael Carter is a stud. I like Michael Carter.
You're validating my point. He's not good.
Which is, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you that I expected him to be better.
He got the failing grade.
He got a failing grade from me. I expected him to be 25-20. Next year, I expect him to be 25-20.
Off topic, you know who got a surprisingly not failing grade that I thought was going to have a failing grade?
What team?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
You didn't let me.
Yes.
Yo, did you see that game?
I said, listen, I spoke to Chet about this. I said that if Jimmy Garoppolo was not playing that game and Trey Lance was the quarterback, they would not win that game.
Wow.
And Jimmy Garoppolo showed why he is a starting quarterback in this football league, regardless of his stats. He is a good quarterback, and he showed it perfectly.
Yo, once they stopped forcing it to Kittle and started passing to everybody else that was open, it was over.
Right.
Yeah, it was over. It was over.
Like I told Lou, I said, bottom line is that here's a team that you look at it. They basically their running game is okay. You're playing. You have a dual threat in Deebo Samuel who can run the ball and catch the ball. You have an all-world guy in Kittle. Okay, your defense is good. Garoppolo took that team on his back and said, "I'm taking it to the playoffs. Let's go."
Okay,
that's what he did.
Mr. Punch said, "Who is he throwing it to?" Hello,
talking about Wilson?
Yes.
Address him.
Okay. In order to throw it to a receiver, I don't care who the receiver is, Mr. Billy, you have to get the ball to that person. Whoever it is.
That's debatable.
He wasn't getting the ball to any receiver. He was overthrowing.
The only person he was getting anywhere near was Elijah Moore. That's it.
And that was after the fact.
And not for nothing, asking a quarterback to throw 25 touchdowns in a year on a 17-game schedule is not asking for a lot. That's literally 1 or 2 touchdowns a game. That's not a lot.
For about, what, 50 this year?
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Again, even if he had was getting the ball to his receivers in a sustainable rate, the Jets would have been a better team. He was missing wide open receivers. So
correct.
Me, Boogie, and Lou could have been running routes out there, and guess what? He still wouldn't have got us the ball. So it doesn't matter if he had a 5-star recruit or has been like whoever, Antonio Brown at this point. He cannot get the football to his receivers. And the reason why we know that is when Mr. Flacco came to the game, he had the same receivers, right? He seemed to find them, right? Mm-hmm. When Mr. White came to the game, the same results, right?
Game he played too.
So were they different receivers on the team when these quarterbacks were throwing them the ball? I don't think so.
Well, against Buffalo, Wilson was 7 for 20 for 87 yards with a touchdown. No interceptions, of course, but it was pretty terrible.
All right, no interceptions, okay.
When that's your parameter, that's pretty bad. The fact that he had no interceptions.
I'll be comfortable doing it though, Billy. I'll be comfortable doing it.
Here's a stat I got to throw out before about the Giants. Sorry, Steele.
Okay.
There's a stat that came out is that the Giants are the only team in the last 5 years have not had a record of 500 or better any time during the season. They're the only team in the NFL.
I believe that.
The Jets were over 500 or something?
Yep.
The Lions
they were probably 1-1.
In the last 5 in the last 5 years.
Hey guys,
not this year, last 5 years.
Trivia question for you. Which player in the NFL this year had the highest quarterback rating?
Ooh.
What
now is there specific games?
For the whole year. Who had the highest quarterback rating for the whole year?
I'm just asking, would at least how many games?
Right.
I'm going with the man on Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. That seems like the obvious pick, no?
Yeah, obviously this is where we got to go.
If
he's asking that question, it's got to be somebody that you surprised.
The highest quarterback rating of this year, Derrick Henry.
That's why
one attempt for a touchdown at 127 quarterback rating.
That's why I said how many you're talking about. See,
but Aaron Rodgers had the highest.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, 111. 111.
I figured it had to be high.
It was Aaron Rodgers, then Joe Burrow, then Dak Prescott.
Listen, where's Paul at? I know that these Cowboy fans are jumping out the window now.
Oh yeah.
My question to you
guys
out
in the first round.
Oh, that's
they're out in the first round.
The Cowboys are beating this.
I don't even know who they're playing.
Cowboys are losing
49ers.
They're out. They're out.
They got the Niners.
Cowboys are losing.
We'll talk about this on our Friday show. But the Cowboys.
Steele, by the way, you still want to talk trash about the quarterback I like?
You talking about
carried to first place in the AFC?
Tanner Bowie?
Tanner Bowie just carried that team to first place in the AFC.
You know what?
Think about
what?
And they're going to be having Derrick Henry back in 2 weeks.
And they're going to be a first-round exit.
No, they will not.
No, not if you have Derrick Henry. If you have Derrick Henry, you're in trouble.
Derrick Henry will be back.
You're in trouble.
We'll discuss it like Mr. Boogie said on our Chet on our Friday.
You're just thinking about quarterbacks. I think I throw my quarterback in that you love to trash talk about.
Listen, the Cowboys are beating the 49ers on Sunday.
No, they're not.
We'll talk about that Friday.
100%. 100%. And I still think to this day, if the Cowboys get rid of if the Cowboys get rid of Ezekiel Elliott, that is going to hurt Dak Prescott. It's going to hurt him. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
So all right, we'll talk about it more on Friday, though.
Let's go to a lighter note. Let's go to the streaking basketball teams that we have right now.
We're playing basketball.
We got some streaking things going on.
We're playing
Now,
basketball.
Let's start with the good stuff before we get to the bad stuff, okay?
Sure.
RJ Barrett is growing into.
Wait, first, real quick. Welcome back, Klay Thompson. Right?
That's right.
Thank
17 points his first time out.
right?
And looking pretty decent out there.
Listen. And shout out to New York for finally opening up sports betting.
Shout out to New York.
No, we love that, Lou.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw on social media, but there was some pretty upset fans who had bet that Draymond Green was going to score the first basket in that game with Klay Thompson, not knowing that he just checked himself in just a foul in the first second of the game and sit out for the rest of the game.
Yep.
Nice prop bet there.
Hold on. Yeah. If they were reading the injury report, they would have known that Draymond was still hurt.
Yep.
Sucks to be them.
Was the person who did that? Does his name rhyme with Oogie?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, was he? Okay.
No, definitely wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
me.
look. So two things. New York sports betting is allowed. So if one of us is not doing the show in a house next week, I understand why what happened. And two,
wow,
New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Who bets the house on anything in sports?
Listen, I know a few. I know a few people who would do that. Not here, but I know a few.
There's one right here.
But let's talk about the New York Knicks. New York Knicks. Last week we were 3 games under. Now we're 1 game under.
RJ Barrett. I'm glad Beastberg is here to watch this. RJ Barrett got his DeRozan on against the Celtics, and we all know what that means.
The buzzer beater.
Let's take a look.
1.5 to go in regulation. Erks will put it in. Finds Barrett. Get a shot up. This is for the win. Oh, it's good! Off the window! RJ Barrett wins it for the Knicks.
DeRozan who?
Now,
I mean, to be fair, DeRozan did it 2 times in a row.
Hey, he's just getting started.
Can you show the game 2 days later after
I
that?
ain't called glass.
Hey,
Called glass on
Hey,
that.
calm down, Chet.
Yo, get that guy out of here.
Yeah, wait, check the hell out of here.
What
Chet.
did he say?
Such a Debbie Downer.
What did he say? I didn't hear what he said. What did he
He
say?
goes, what about the game after that when we lost by 25?
Okay, bring Chet back on.
I'm
Chet,
here.
Do you realize the Knicks have the same exact record that they had last year with our great season last year? So as much as you guys want to keep clowning the Knicks, they're right on schedule, man. They're still getting themselves together. They still can turn this season around. As you see, like I said, this is the same record that they had last year.
But they're not the same. They're not playing like the same team you know.
Only because Julius Randle needs to get out of his own mind.
Well, so let's talk about Mr. Randle the other night.
That's the problem.
Okay? 33 minutes, 2 points, 1 for 7 shooting.
So are you going to leave out the 12 rebounds?
But we still got the what?
Are you going to leave out? Hold on. You're going to leave out
star.
And guess what? When your star gets double teamed, he smartly passed it to the open guy. That's why there was a balanced scoring with the whole starters outside of him and the
balanced scoring.
Yes, did you look at the stat line?
I mean, that's like 40% of your points right there. They had.
Barrett had 31. Mitchell Robinson had 13. Alec Burks had 16. Evan Fournier had 18. Emmanuel quickly had 12. So that's not balanced scoring? Yeah. It's funny when you talk with no stats. It's funny when you talk with no stats. And this is the problem with Knicks fans.
You don't win that game. You don't win
with
that
their
game
heart instead of knowing exactly what
they don't win that game without Barrett. Bottom line. They don't win that game. They probably get blown out.
And let me ask you a question. They don't win the game with Randle actually playing defense and getting rebounds? They don't win with that?
Steph Curry the other day.
It's only about scoring, right? That's it.
Steph Curry the other day went 1 for 10 and they lost. And Russ and Randle goes only 2 points and they win. So you gotta look at it that way.
Listen,
the next necessary to win.
The Knicks won at the end of the day, and I know and Joe gets mad at me, but the Knicks won because they actually had very good ball movement. And the open man shot the ball. Whether it was whether the shot went in or it didn't, there were good looks at the basket and they counted.
That's
the reason why they lost to the Celtics.
They couldn't hit.
They couldn't hit any shots.
They couldn't hit no shots, bro.
But you couldn't stop Tatum.
And they didn't have the Celtic killer and Fournier playing that game. That was the
man.
problem.
You couldn't stop Tatum. You couldn't stop Brown that game. Brown put up a triple-double.
But you keep
Tatum put
forgetting
up 40.
they
You
have
weren't
to
gonna beat
play
that team.
defense. They got to play defense on Fournier.
I love when dad and dad fight.
I don't like it.
So,
I don't like it.
So like I was saying, everybody want to talk trash about the Knicks, but we have the same records last year. So you know what? I'm just going to keep my faith, and I'm going to hope that this team turns around and see that when you do proper basketball movement, that gives us a better time to get our offense together instead of having Julius Randle bring the ball up for the first 14 seconds of the shot
You
clock.
mean Julius Randle, this guy?
You mean this
Shut
guy?
You know what?
What did he say to the fans? Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say. What I said the last time when Byers and them did it, bro. I don't care if he does that. Honestly, that only tells me that he cares about how you guys feel about him. You know what I'm saying? So we always complain about these guys. They just play for the money. They don't care about the game. No, the guy is busting his tail, working to try to be the best player on the team. And when New York fans boo, which they have all right to because he hasn't been playing well, then he felt emotional. You know what I'm saying? He got caught up in the moment. Obviously, because look, he started cursing in the interview and everything. You know that's uncharacteristic.
But
he was emotional.
He got super emotional.
He got salty.
And know what's crazy? When they was booing him, when he started to turn around, when he got that rebound, put back up, instantly they started cheering him again.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's the thing. Like he was so in his feelings that he didn't want to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? But then you follow it up by not playing well after that. So that's the thing. It's like he knows that he's not playing well and he's frustrated, and the fans are letting him know about it. And like I said, athletes, especially now they're not used to like a fan base like telling them how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to like these like when he was over there, I guess with New Orleans and stuff like that. He played bad and they still yaying him and stuff like that, which is retarded to me. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now he learned his lesson. You know what I'm saying? They're not even killing him like that.
At no point was he the central point of the offense, right? The Knicks made him the center point of their offense. So now, not like last year, where people were kind of like, oh, is he the man? Is he not the man? Whatever. But he was playing like the man, so that he got those flowers. This year, he was anointed the man, and
that
his talent doesn't.
Who anointed him?
The Knicks organization. They
paid him that money.
They paid him. They said Julius Randle
anointed him that.
I said, Julius Randle, here's this money.
The press didn't pay him. The Knicks did.
You know what? The Knicks gave him that money, and all he had to do was produce. All right. And you know what? This year he's not. I think he's putting too much pressure on himself to do too much. He has guys around it that can assist him.
He's too inconsistent this year,
right? But he doesn't have to. If Julius Randle and me and Beachborough had this conversation, Julius Randle should be a double-double machine. If Julius Randle attacks the boards like he did the other night, and half those shots that he assisted on, he could have put back up, but he made some good decisions on the pass out, on the assist, so I'm not going to knock him on it. But Julius Randle could have easily had 13, 14 points off of layups, not jump shots, layups, because he was attacking the boards.
Yeah, but you're sitting there anointing him, and you're a big guy. He should be averaging, if he's supposed to be right, 20 and 12 every game.
Listen,
he should be averaging
it's hard.
20-12.
He's not a superstar player. Last year he was.
But that's how they're paying him. That's how the New York press is putting it on him. They're making him hit the number one player. If he's that, you should be averaging 20 and 12. You should be.
Julius Randle, and again, I blame Coach Tibbs because he is not putting Randle in the spots on the floor where Randle can be successful. I think Randle should stay away from that 3-point line. I think he was a very good 12 to 10-foot jump shot maker.
The mid-range game.
He could kill the mid-range. Stay away from that 3-point line. Stay away from the dribble into the double teams. He can average 20.
He thinks he's the 20.
I'm okay with him
21 version of Anthony Mason.
But I'm okay with him drawing the double team. See, the double team part is not my issue with him. You know what I'm saying? It's just he just has to pass it to the right person, which a lot of times he does. But the thing is, sometimes he does that jump pass thing, and that's what gets him in trouble. That's where his turnovers arrive from. Because you can't jump and you can't jump and assume that the defense is going to stay where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be
Yeah.
sure where you're throwing it to when you do all that
course.
stupid type of passing.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets in trouble.
And then right, like you said, Boogie, that's why he's been inconsistent this year. He said he'll have great games, 2, 3, 4 in a row. All of a sudden, next thing you know, he's got 7 turnovers. He's doing this. He's doing that. You know, he's putting up bricks all over the place. That's why I'm saying he's too inconsistent right now.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not a bad player. I'm saying he's a good player. But
he's definitely
inconsistent.
this year. He's definitely playing inconsistent. But what I do like about his game is when something is not working, he goes to does something else. Because there's a lot of players out there where, like, let's take Curry for instance. Let's take Curry. If he's not shooting, what else does he have to offer the game outside of drawing attention? Outside of drawing attention.
Yes. Now that Clay's back, and now they're going to get Wiseman back within the next week to 10 days. Okay, and then when Draymond gets healthy again, and you have Wiggins, then you're going to see a different Curry. You won't see Curry shooting 25, 30 times a game. You won't.
No, but I'm giving an example about there's certain stars where if their main bread and butter is not working, they really aren't that player.
Let me give you one. Then. Let me give you one. That's a perfect example this year. Who's been way more inconsistent than Julius Randle is Russell Westbrook.
No, he's not inconsistent. He just hasn't played well at all. Because the amount of games he played well is, I probably could count on one hand.
Right, so exactly.
He's having a worse season than Randall is, bro.
Right. I'm saying
he turns the ball over. He misses layups. Bro, he can't do nothing right. He's not a shooter, but they keep putting him in the corner to shoot.
And what team is he on this year? He's on the Geritol team this year. That's why he's not doing anything. Because he's passing to the old fogies and they're all getting hurt.
Hey, they're over 500 now. They're over 500.
First of all, well, I'm not going to. I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm gonna focus on the New York Knicks. And
Carmelo Anthony.
I was about to. I'm gonna say this: if the Knicks can continue to move the ball like they did against Indiana, they're not going to win every game. I'm not going to jump off the edge and say they're going to win every game, but they're going to be like they were last year. Even when they lose, they're going to be in the game. I don't want to see any more of these blowout 20-point losses and stuff like that. Listen, I'm not a crazy fan, okay? We all know that the championship is going through Brooklyn this year, whether they want it or not. Moving on to the Brooklyn Nets. But I just want to see a successful transition on the second half. I want to see Julius Randle move the ball. And when the double team comes, I just want to see him get rid of the ball a little quicker, okay? And I want him to stop shooting threes. That's it.
And I want him to start playing over topping.
You gotta play top. I agree with that.
You say you don't want them to play top?
No,
he wants them.
I want them to play top.
Yeah, me too. Yo,
there was a part. Yo, I was just about to say that when RJ Barrett hit that turnaround fader, right? And they called timeout. And everybody's giving him 5 or whatever, right? And everybody's going back to the bench or whatever. Everything was cool. I think Toppin was in the game then. So then that right before the dead ball of that next one, Thibodeau put Randle in and took RJ out. The crowd went crazy. Toppin was dragging his face on his chest like, oh man, I'm riving out. Like, he's so frustrated. Like, dag, man, it's like I can't stay in the game.
He's like, what? And he's saying to himself, and that's why he's not taking good shots. Because every time he touches the ball, it's like, is this going to take me out the game?
Shot. Yeah, like Randall's 1 for 7, but I'm still getting taken out.
Like what, 12, 13 minutes this year? He's averaging off the bench. Obi,
I think he averaged like 9 minutes off the bench, man. It's a sad. He's not getting any chance to show.
He should.
And then when he does, he's always got some highlights going.
He got a highlight, and then as soon as he has a highlight,
got 2 highlights.
This is Tibbs. Go sit down, man. It's like, and that's another thing
So let me ask you a question. When it comes to your starting lineup, do you want one set starting lineup, or do you want to go by who they're playing game by game? Because that's what it seems like you're doing a lot lately.
That's what you should do.
They're not talented enough to do. They need to change with the tide.
Yeah, they should do.
Thank you. We've been saying that, right? I agree. And that's what a lot of teams are doing well because of injuries too. But I'm saying if you have a full healthy team, okay.
Well, Kemba and Derek is arriving back soon, so.
Right. So the only three guys that should be in that starting line every game is, see if you agree with me, Randall, Barrett, and when he's healthy, Fournier.
I think Fournier should come off the bench.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I think
Who would you
Fournier.
start then?
Honestly,
Who would you start then? Would you want to start
Randall and Barrett
Burks,
definitely.
Quigley?
Randall and Barrett definitely, but I think I still like Mitchell Robinson as a starter at the center. Honestly, you know what I'm
You
saying?
do.
I like
So
him.
they did. So Taj Gibson had said, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, sometimes I don't know why sometimes they do that, but I do like what Taj Gibson brings a lot to the game. You know, as old as he is, he brings a
He's
lot
a
to the
good
game.
veteran. He's a very good veteran.
We miss Nerlens Noel, but we already
Has-
knew
Right.
that's his MO. You know what I'm saying,
Have anyone seen him?
bro?
Is he still on the Knicks?
Right. Who knows?
Yeah.
He's still out.
He's supposed to be on his way back too, but
How many? I mean, you're a stat man. How many games has that guy played this year?
Like 16, I think, or something like that. He hasn't played a lot.
I don't think he played 16 games, man.
He played a low amount.
I'll tell you right now.
He played a low amount.
16 games only.
He's played 17 games this year.
And
17.
And some of those games he didn't play a lot of minutes because sometimes he got taken out in the first half and then arrived
Yeah, he's
back.
probably averaging about maybe 8 to 10 minutes, maybe a game tops. Yeah, you don't see that much of him.
So we got aging point guards and we got injury-prone centers. So that right there in itself is difficult.
Hey, on a good note, Nerlens Noel has the highest free throw percentage of his whole career this year.
Because he hasn't taken one.
That's almost as bad. That's almost as bad as that quarterback rating thing that you said.
He was ranked 29th out of all the quarterbacks.
All right, so let's go to the other New York team. Because I got a few things to say about that.
Go ahead, lead the way.
So
welcome back, Kyrie.
Yes.
That's second in the East, and not first.
He came back, looked real good.
The Bulls are playing better than them.
Yeah, well, they'll be playing the Bulls next week. You watch.
Let's see what happens. Wait, are they in Chicago or are they in Brooklyn?
I think the game is in Brooklyn.
It's in Chicago.
So then, which one is it?
Is it Chicago?
No, I'm looking at it right now. January 12th, it's in Chicago.
Oh, so then
right. They played the night before, right? They played a late game the night before, I think, because of an ESPN doubleheader or something like that.
Yeah, but Kyrie's gonna play.
This is my question to the Nets fan.
Go ahead.
That's right over there.
Yeah.
Now, when Kyrie came back, they played an awesome game, right? Yep. And then they went to play at home. They played against Indiana and barely won.
Yeah.
When I say barely, it was barely. It was almost a big L. Okay, so this is my question to you.
Yeah, I got two answers for the question.
How can a team have consistency when one of their star players is inconsistently in and out of the lineup?
Well, they'll have to work around that with Nash. But I'm saying I think what their reasons are, it's not because of Kyrie why they're inconsistent. Two reasons why. Not playing defense. They do not play defense well at all. You can see that. And what's killing them, and I said this from the start, LaMarcus Aldridge not being in that lineup. Being out.
Bro, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to lose to the Trailblazers yesterday. No excuse.
Yeah,
they completely messed up. Completely messed up my parlay.
That's the thing. You travel East Coast.
Completely messed my parlay up.
So look at it this way. Once this team gets healthy, which it will be soon, okay, I like the young players they got. Claxton, I like. Duke, I like. You know, Patty Mills into the little slip right now. He'll come out of it. They need to play Blake Griffin more.
You played a Trailblazers team that didn't have Lillard or McCollum playing, and you lost. I don't care about no traveling, back-to-back, anything. You're a championship team, and you can't defeat the Trailblazers without their top two players?
The G League Trailblazers at that.
You had Anthony Simon going off on you guys. I'm not saying that he's bad because he's
they play defense. That's the problem. That's the reason why they play. They play inconsistent defense.
There is no excuse to lose to a team.
There is none. I agree. They're not playing defense.
You gave me two excuses.
I said the main reason they're playing defense. That's the main thing.
No, the first thing you said is because it was a back-to-back.
Oh, yeah, the back-to-back.
West Coast.
They played home and had to fly to the West Coast to play the next night.
So, if they did that, they can't defeat us. They can't defeat us four.
That's not easy to do.
No, I'm saying if they did that, they can't defeat us four after a back-to-back. East Coast, West Coast, they can't defeat us.
Now listen.
That's basically what they played yesterday.
As the token basketball player, and I don't know, Lou, if you play ball too, but when I play ball, when we play these tournaments, tournament would start on Saturday, and we would play basketball all Saturday, various games, all Sunday, various games, and if we winning because it's summertime, all Monday. So back-to-backs mean nothing to these guys. I hate when people make an excuse. Oh, such and such. These guys are flying in. Basically, these planes are like
first class.
I mean, past first class.
Right.
They are flying in luxury. It's not like they get in a charter bus and drive it across country. So playing a back-to-back means nothing. Nothing at all.
I still think it does mean something. It does.
I mean,
it really
does. I'll give you might have a little jet lag, but okay. But they're used to flying at this point. So come on, man. We gotta stop making excuses. These are professional athletes, bro. If the back-to-back was something that was not,
they train their bodies for these specific reasons.
Yes, they can do it. There's no reason for a team to come out, but they played last night. That's your job.
And James Harden didn't even play. James Harden didn't play, but Durant played.
Yeah, Harden didn't play. They give Harden rest. Right.
Yeah, but you had two of your guys playing. There's no excuse, bro.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, Kevin Durant is supposed to be the best player in the world. He's supposed to be able to win games by himself. Okay? And Lenise, they was making fun of us because they said you threw these draws at me in the middle of the show.
She wants some back still.
Oh, and our sponsor brought to you by Vum.ong. Vum.ong. Thank you for...
Please tell me who this is. Because
I don't know.
They just keep posting these random dots, and I don't know what. Nobody click the links, please, because we are not responsible
for the virus.
These, YouTube viruses that these random people are posting. I don't understand it.
Listen.
So happens we have millions of viewers. You can't control everything.
Listen, we can shit on the Nets all we want. The Nets are going to be in the Eastern Conference Championship. They only lost by 12 to a very good Bucks team, which I said that they were going to make their comeback after being 4 games under 500, without Harden, without Kyrie, and when they're in full throttle, the Nets are going to be they're going to be the team to beat regardless. We all know this.
Okay, so you're saying, Lou, right now, without a shadow of a doubt, the Nets are going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
you're saying right now that the Nets are better than the Chicago Bulls and the Milwaukee Bucks.
I think they are.
I'm not talking about on paper. I'm talking about the way they are playing.
I think definitely they are.
I think Chicago right now is catching that wave that the Knicks was on last year. I think they're on fire right now. Teams aren't expecting that kind of play that they're bringing to the table. Because I think Caruso is out, right? He's not even back yet.
Well,
right?
They don't know how to play them yet. They don't know how to play them yet.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got whenever you knew that you was playing Chicago, you just said, all right, you know what? We got to stop Zach Levine. You know what I'm saying? But now it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? Now
it's DeRozan. It's Ball. It's the Verjao. Or whatever those names.
Nurkic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got a team there. And like I said, and Caruso escaping from the Lakers and turning into a player over there. Like,
but listen, Caruso was a player for the Lakers. I don't understand how he. Well, I saw the documentary on how they let him go, which was ridiculous. But anyway, he's not a Knick, so I don't really care. But their team, to me,
we're supposed to say they play a regular ball. It's not about flashiness, bro. It's honestly like what they're doing is they're, like you said, like they're playing basic, like as far as passing the ball to the open guy type thing. But the thing is, the way they're doing that, these guys aren't missing. You know what I'm saying? Like Zach Levine is the king of bad shot shooting. You know what I'm saying? He's not taking that many bad shots.
Here's the thing that's the biggest difference. I think the biggest difference more than DeRozan, I hate to say it, it's been Billy Donovan.
Think so?
Why do you hate to say it?
I think so by far.
But why do you hate to say it? He can't be a good coach?
I think he's been the biggest difference in that club.
But why do you hate to say it? That's a good
I think he's always been a great head coach when he was in Oklahoma City. He was a great head coach.
He's just not going to defeat the firepower of James Harden, Kevin Durant.
Right. Okay. This is my question.
Make a move with the trade deadline. You watch. Let's make a move with the trading deadline.
Is Zach Levine an all-star?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
He was an all-star last year without them.
Is DeRozan an all-star?
Yes.
Former. Yes, of course.
All right. Is Ball playing on a
No.
high level?
No.
You don't think Ball's
No.
playing on a high level?
He's playing
been hurt
decent. He's
inconsistent
not.
too much.
Yeah, he's playing
Yeah.
decent. He's not playing. It's
All
it's
right.
No, he's
literally
not an all-star
it's
caliber.
literally DeRozan and Levine and
Levine.
Nurkic, right?
And Nurkic,
But
right.
but when you compare those three definitely don't compare to the three that the Nets have.
Right.
But
And then
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
tell
get
you the difference between
Marcus Aldridge too.
I'm gonna tell you the difference between Levine and DeRozan. Both those brothers play defense.
Yes.
Okay, they both play defense. Harden,
Kyrie can play defense. I play
check
more
this out.
defense than James Harden.
Check this out. No. Check it out. They might be able to play defense. Which one of them is stopping Durant?
none of them. Durant's
Which
unstoppable.
one of them is stopping Kyrie?
One. Yeah.
Which one of them is stopping James Harden?
Yeah.
So I don't care
Listen,
how good defense they play. They're not
listen.
stopping three superstar
Let me tell you
offensive
something.
talents.
And then,
bro.
and then the Nets
If you
have
put
Aldridge
if
and
you
Patty
put
Mills
if you put
and
if you
Claxton
put ball if you put ball
and Joe
who?
Harris when he comes back.
Oh,
if you put ball on not on
Kyrie?
Harden
He's gonna
Harden's
get
not
eight.
gonna have a good.
He's
not
gonna get
have a good.
destroyed.
No, he's not.
He's gonna have 3 fouls in the first 5 minutes.
You
No,
could
no,
he's
he's
not.
put
not.
ball on Harden because you know what Harden's going to do. Harden's leading the second leading assist person in the player in the
Pass it
game.
to Durant and let him fry
He's
him
gonna
from
pass it.
three. Just
Yeah.
let him
Listen.
fry him
Or
from
he
three.
tries
man.
to-
And a 7-game series where your all-star Kyrie is not going to play in half the games. Guess what? That is a boxer's chance right there.
If Chicago gets the number 1 seed, guess how many times Kyrie's playing if they're playing against each other?
You know what I'm saying?
4 times.
And guess what? And all they have to do is steal a game. All the Bulls have to do is steal one game, and that series is over.
No, they ain't gonna beat the Nets. No matter if Kyrie's playing or not, they ain't gonna beat the. So that's gonna make a move before the trade deadline. You know they're going to.
Listen, this is basketball here, bro. This ain't football. Let me
They're
tell you
gonna
something.
make a move
You
for
got
that
to
on the
come
trade
out there
deadline.
and know what? I'm not trying to say nothing funny, but
I
Kevin
can tell you-
Durant, Kevin Durant is the greatest player
first team they're
of
gonna
this
call.
generation, but he's known
And
to fold up
Boogie's
like
gonna
a
hate to
lawn
hear this.
chair. Look
The
how
first
what
team
he
they're gonna
did
call
in Oklahoma City. That's
when
all
it
I'm
comes
gonna
to the
say.
trading deadline, it's gonna be
It's a
the Dallas
long
Mavericks.
time since Oklahoma City, my friend.
He
has a couple of
ran.
rings since then.
Yeah, because he played with he went to Golden State.
Nah, he
Listen,
went to Brooklyn.
Two-time
he went to-
MVP though. He
Yeah.
wasn't Curry.
The Nets are going to make a move.
Listen,
Let me tell you something, Boogie. Look,
if
Boogie
people-
and Lou, you could have went to Golden State that year, and y'all both would have got rings. Okay,
As long as I
Come on,
sat
bro.
on the bench, of course I would
By
have
the
got a ring.
way, Boogie would like to hear this because I just heard a rumor the other day. The Nets are talking to Dallas about getting Kristaps Porzingis.
What does that do? They just give them more no defense.
That helps the Nets immensely.
Why?
Porzingis?
Why? Why
Yeah.
does that help them? Where's he going to play?
Offensive wise,
Who's he going to?
You don't need more offense.
They need defense,
I think
bro.
you'll need offense down the stretch. But they were saying him. Also, they were talking about who do you call with. They were talking a little ain't going nowhere. They were talking with the Clippers. Possibly they were asking about what was I hearing? Beverly.
Beverly will help.
Beverly will help.
I'm still
Beverly,
stuck.
they were looking
I'm
at him.
still stuck on Porzingis.
Yeah.
I heard that. I shook my head.
Why,
for a minute.
let me ask you, why would the Dallas get rid of Porzingis when they're 6th in the standings right now and making a playoff run?
Because Porzingis is trash, bro. Like they've seen, they finally seen the holes that guy has, and he's always hurt.
Some payroll because he's got a couple of young guys that he wants to sign long term. He wants to, and he also wants to try to keep Doncic as much as possible.
His days are numbered over there, man. They're shopping him.
Yeah, they are shopping him.
Hey, Porzingis is averaging 21 and 8.
Yep.
It's not always all about the numbers, bro.
I'm telling you, he's averaging 21 and 8 though.
He averaged good here, but you see, nobody wanted him to stay. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we understand what it is to have him.
That's all looking to upgrade their roster now. Big time.
I mean, listen. Let's just say, for instance,
Get Ben Simmons over there. Get Ben Simmons over there.
I said all along at the beginning of the year, Ben Simmons for Kyrie was the perfect trade.
No.
I said that at the beginning of the season.
No. I meant somehow get Ben Simmons on the team.
You know, they got Kyrie as the best ball handler ever. And you want to trade the best ball handler ever.
Just because he's retarded, but listen, The guy is a great talent, bro.
Listen, I wouldn't give Philadelphia a bag of potatoes for Ben Simmons right now, because that guy is
Man, you have a lot of bag of potato chips to trade. You would trade Zach Wilson for a bag of potato chips.
You know what?
You trade Kyrie Irving for a bag, and you wouldn't trade for
I think he's looking for a potato chip sponsor. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Right, you're looking for
listen.
Yo,
Listen, Ben
Lay's,
Simmons.
Fritos.
Listen, Ben Simmons. Again, the last time you saw him?
Said Chet smoking that goodish.
When's the last time he showed you anything? He laid an egg in the playoffs. He can't make a jump shot. He can't make a free throw. He's a liability on offense and the offensive league.
Yeah, but he can rebound.
We're gonna trade the best offensive player in history, not in history, but
history.
Not in history, but one of the best offensive players that ever played the game of basketball for a guy that can't put the ball in the basket.
I'll tell you one thing: if they can package other players, not their core three, and get him on the team, so now they add definite defense. Now
then you're saying something.
Now,
and he can rebound too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just add him to that lineup. That's pretty special.
But just like Kyrie play.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can fit him in that lineup though.
That's the problem. I don't think they have enough of that
assets. I don't think they have enough assets to get.
Yeah. At least with Beverly, you don't have to trade much, like that.
Yo, Book, I'm talking all this craziness, but I would take him on the Knicks.
Of course, you would take Ben Simmons on the Knicks. Of course. Shoot, we need a little bit of everything on the Knicks, man. He would definitely help us. He'll help us. If he don't want to play in Philadelphia, well, why would he want to play here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't like Joel Embiid, man.
Joel Embiid is having an amazing season this year.
He's playing MVP caliber.
What, he has 7 games with 30
plus?
Yeah.
30 and 15, I think, something like that.
Yeah, that dude is having an amazing season.
Guess what? He's gonna fizzle out, bro.
Of course, because his body can't handle that.
He's gonna
too big.
I'm saying right now, he could be the MVP of the league right now, the way he's playing.
It's Durant.
It's Durant, man.
Oh, I like Durant, of course. But I'm saying you can't sit there and beat other candidate.
No, you can't.
Yo, I got one request, Book. Do you have that RJ Barrett dunk queued up? You wouldn't happen to have that, would you? That breakaway dunk.
The Rockaway baby.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to have that.
I could get that queued up for you.
Because let me tell you something. There's nothing like a good dunk in a basketball game. And RJ, he pretty much impressed me these last couple of games. I appreciate that young man. But you know what?
But you were shitting all over him last week.
Hold on, let me finish.
Exactly, right?
I said I appreciate that young man. But you know what?
I appreciate him.
He has no shimmy in him, man. It's like he's
no rhythm.
Is that the word I'm looking for? It's like
I think you're looking for that.
No flow.
He's like this. It's like he's a square. He has no
flash.
Yeah,
he's a robot. He's like a robot.
If he can give me something besides hard dribble, get my shot thrown into the stands, come on, bro.
Oh,
he's going to be, if the Knicks make a trade, I'm almost guaranteeing RJ's going to be in
it.
I mean, you got to have assets, bro. So
I was going to say, you can't get rid of everyone. Like, just.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I got a better. Why would the Knicks just pick up Carmelo then?
He was going to sign here until the Lakers called.
I kind of wish he signed. I kind of wish he signed this so I can blame somebody for the 20-21 record.
Yeah, but we're the same record as last year.
Hold on. And y'all hating on Melo, but right now he's like top 5 spot shooter in the NBA right now. So
it's coming off the bench though.
The bench.
He's doing his job. They want him to come off the bench and hit open jump shots. That's what he's doing.
Right, but he's taking less shots. It's not like he's taking the same amount of shots as he normally is.
Hold on. Y'all got mad with the man shot all the time. Now he's taking less shots. Now you're criticizing the man for taking less shots. What's going on here?
You know what?
Can I get some assistance here, Boogie? Please.
I'm trying to queue up your
okay.
He's averaging 13.5 points this year. That's what he's averaging right now.
Because that's what they want him to average. You don't want him coming off the bench averaging 25. You want him to average 13 to 20 points a game, and that's what he's giving them.
Right now,
I want the Lou Williams.
Playing without Anthony Davis. There's another guy who's killing you.
Anthony Davis is Mr. Glass. Okay, I think I put a picture up of him with the Mr. Glass body. He is not. I didn't call Anthony Towns, okay? Because Anthony Davis is not it. He's not what everybody hypes him up to be. He damn sure shouldn't be the top 75 player over Dwight Howard. But that's another story.
I agree with that. You find the book, you're having trouble.
Yeah, I'm because I had to go through the whole thing. Because
no, don't worry about it. I'm just saying. I just wanted to.
They had a lot of Obi Toppin on them 2 dunks he did too.
I wanted to end the show with some spectacular dunks, but it's okay.
But we can end the show in another way. So just everyone knows we're going to be doing a show on Friday at 7 o'clock. We're going to go over all the NFL playoffs and discussing who we think is going to the Super Bowl, as well as who is going to win each game this week coming up. So please make sure you tune in on Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And this broadcast brought to you by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your automotive stuff done at 106th Street Tire and Wheel, located in Corona, New York. We want to thank you all again for joining us here on True Sports Talk.
Jesus Christ. Abi.
You know how when your internet gets choppy, you got to turn it off to reset it and turn it back on? All right, you ready now?
We want to thank you all for joining us here at Sports Talk with Lou, Boogie, Steele, and Chet. And we will see you guys on Friday with special guest Billy Punch.
Billy
Punch will be joining us. Yes. So we will see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you for firing Joe Judge. Thank you.
Joe who?
Joe fired.
Free Joe Judge.
We have 37 days before spring training for the Mets.
Joe
37 days.
Assuming baseball is not canceled. Yes, we do. That is very true.
Let's be going back to the bargaining table on Thursday. So.
Yep. All right. Until next week, until Friday, we will see you guys then. Have a good rest of your night.